great to have you back, and I'm glad you came back. We mustn't have... it mustn't have been too tricky the first time round.
Wasn't as bad as I thought it would be.
Oh, that's good. Well, before we begin today, I'd like to acknowledge the traditional custodians of the land on which we broadcast from today and pay my respects to their elders past, present and emerging. Well, here we are suddenly at round 9 and just about to tip over to the halfway mark of the season. And what a season it's shaping up to be, Rochelle. We obviously have Wang undefeated, but despite that, I don't know, I don't think I can remember a closer season.
No, it's really looking like that top 5 is so close, and even the teams that are just outside of it, it's going to be very close and right down to the wire, I think, this year, which is great.
Yeah, and I think, look, one of the really positive things that everyone has won a game. We don't have any teams that are yet to post a win, which is fantastic. We certainly don't want to see teams going through seasons not getting a win. We've got just 2 games separating 3rd place, which is Corowa, and 6th place, which is Wodonga, which is quite phenomenal, really. And then I think the other exciting thing is just the emergence of clubs like Wodonga and then obviously North Albury into that sort of top 5 or 6. Alrighty, so before we get to today's games, we're just going to have a look at last week's results. So it was Rovers 51, lost to Myrtleford 52. This was a really close game. There was only 1 or 2 goals that separated these teams all day, I think, with Myrtleford just holding on. Sammy Krelsham and Beck Krelsham, 23 and 28 goals apiece, were best for the Rovers along with Molly Murray, but they are just playing so well and their accuracy is just outstanding.
Those 2 are just fantastic to watch. I watched a live stream a few weeks ago of Rovers and Bulldogs, and their connection's just fantastic.
Oh, and Sammy was absolutely on that day, there's no doubt. Emma Sharp was best for Myrtleford, while her fellow shooter Daisy O'Kane just put up a quiet 44 goals out of their 51, so she had a busy day. Raiders 62 defeated Corowa 56, so this was a 2 versus 3 game. It was a bit of a shootout. Corowa held a 6-goal lead at quarter time, but Raiders showed their grit and they scored 23 goals to 12 in the second quarter to really set up the win. They established a lead and then they were able to maintain that for the rest of the game. Taylor Dolan shot at 90% with 40 goals. So she's hit some form after Interleague, which was great and well supported by M. Stewart and Mackenzie House. For Corowa, they were forced to swing Slope to goals again. She did shoot at 85%, so wouldn't that be a nice problem to have?
Yeah, imagine that.
But well supported by Indy Fraunfelder, and they were named best on for Corowa. In the other games, Albury 25 lost convincingly to Wangaratta, who were undefeated. Really struggled to find the goals, Albury. Wang kept them to just 3 goals in the second quarter and just 25 for the game. So struggling to find avenue to goal. Sarah Jones and Alira McCown were best for Albury, while Brooke Thorpe and Izzy Newton were best for Wang, and we'll see them in action today. The live stream game saw North Albury 54, too good for Yarrawonga 43. So it just went goal for goal first quarter, and then North jumped out in the second quarter and established a 9-goal lead and really were able to maintain that for the rest of the game and really showed their pace. Lily Kelly shot at 85%, so we're seeing some big numbers and some big margins with our shooters, which is great. Grace Hay and Em Brown were outstanding. For Yarra, Tilly Kennedy and Kylie Leslie came on and really had an impact in that game too. And the final game saw Lavington 45 go down to Wodonga 49. So again, Wodonga just really able to assert themselves against those sides that are below them on the ladder and go on and hold on to win. So probably the big news out of that game was Wodonga losing their coach Leah Mathy to a season-ending injury. Achilles.
Oh, no.
So that's their second Achilles for the season. So they're sharing the scooter around in the moon boot.
That's a big loss for them too.
Yeah, it is a big loss. She's a real leader, but will obviously be on the sideline. This week we see they'll debut Molly Moylan, Anna Beers and Kaya Harvey as a result of that. So, opportunity, I guess, then for others to come through. Lily McKimmie, 25, and Cara Woodman, 24 goals, are sharing the load with Wodonga, which I think is a really good sign. For Lavi, Erin Harbright was the top scorer. And they had another debutante in Lenny Pendergast, daughter of Alicia and Matt being a premiership player, and mother Alicia being a premiership coach with Lavington Panthers. So they would have been very, very proud to see her take the A-grade court. So looking at the ladder, Wang's still sitting undefeated on top. Raiders in second place. So today is a game of the round, that's for sure. They're a game behind Wang. And then we go a game behind them to Corowa on 24 points. Then to North on 20, Yarrawonga and Wodonga sharing 16 points in 5th and 6th. So as I said, only 2 games between 3rd and 6th. And I think it's going to be a really, really interesting second half of the season.
I agree. And I think this game is going to go right down to the final minute. Who did you tip to win this
I
week?
did pick Wang.
Yeah, okay.
Yes, I reckon it's going to be tight.
Yep.
I just thought Wang at home, Kelly Keane's 100th.
Huge.
It's pretty hard to go past that. So looking at the lineups before they take the court, Shay Cunningham, the coach for Wang, they will start Amanda Yamansky, goal shooter. Kelly Keane, as I said, her 100th A-grade game for Wang in goal attack. Izzy Newton, wing attack. Leah Genevieve, centre. Hannah Grady, wing defence. Brooke Thorpe, goal defence. Katie Dean, goalkeeper. With Georgia Clark back into the side on the bench with Shay Crimmins. For Wodonga, a pretty familiar lineup there. Jodie House coaching. Taylor Donlan in that goal shooter position. Emily Stewart, goal attack. Blaney House, wing attack, and Maggie St John centre. Ava Kazitsiki comes into the wing defence position with Molly Goldsworthy away. Mackenzie House, goal defence. Eliza Mooney, goalkeeper, and Shayla House, Georgia Way, and Molly McGrath on the interchange. So here we go. It is the game 1v2.
Not a great start there. We just had a forced ball over a third.
Yeah, Wang with the centre pass. And I feel like there's going to be some great matchups. For me, I'm loving the matchup that we're going to see, I think, between Amanda Yamansky and Eliza Mooney. I'm not sure they've played against each other before.
No, I don't think they have.
Yeah, so I'm really to see how that goes. The other one will be Emily Stewart in the goal attack for Raiders and Brooke Thorpe for Wang. I reckon that's going to be another cracker of a contest as we see Stewart come out after House and Blaney. Great hands and a quick refeed to M. Stewart. Can't pop it in, but Taylor Dolan showing good strength under the ring there. So Raiders first on the board there, and their centre pass.
Well done, good tip, Kelly.
Han Grady coming through, and I expect we'll see her get lots of hands to ball today. Izzy Newton deep into the pocket to Genvy on top, patiently waiting for Kelly Keane.
I think Kelly really just brings that settled approach in this game. I think is going to be pretty fast paced for the first 5-10 minutes while teams settle in. So I think whoever can settle first might get the upper hand.
Yeah, I agree. And she does do that. She just offers that change of pace, doesn't she? And she's so smart, draws the defender up and opens up that one-on-one for Amanda, as we see there. Great hands for Kelly. So just doing some research on her. So she's been a premiership player 2018, 2019, those back-to-back years, which just phenomenal effort by the Magpies those 2 years. Coached from 2017 through to 2021. Obviously that missed season in there at 2020 as Wang get their first goal on the board. And this year coaching, returned last year and then playing obviously again this year and coaching the 17 and unders this year, I believe.
Yeah, which is fantastic. When we heard that she was going to be coaching the 17s, a bit jealous actually because she's such a great coach and for them to have her is fantastic. And we've also got Katie Dean or Katie Bell as the team manager. So those two on the bench, I mean, how lucky are those girls?
Oh, absolutely, the knowledge that they bring. And I think that's the thing, anyone who's ever watched Kelly play can just attest to the smarts. You know, she doesn't overplay it. She just pops when she needs to and brings so much experience to this side. There's really not many like her in the league. As we see Raiders finding their shooters, not quite in M. Stewart's shooting zone, so they opt to go back. And the quick one to Dolan, but the umpires called it ball out. I think Sarah Sanini is probably the only other player that I've seen like Kelly that can really just stop the game, bring it back to their pace, and just set up the people around them, bring people into the game. She's quite phenomenal the way she does that, Kelly.
I think people sort of underestimate her a little bit too, even though they shouldn't, because I think I think she's up to 13 premierships in her career.
Well, I was just going to say, like, she won a heat with Manala States, I think, in the Goulburn Valley League, didn't she?
As well, and when she played there. I mean, 13 premierships is fantastic.
That's a lot of Mad Mondays.
She's probably done with those now.
No goal there. So Raiders with the turnover deep in Maggie's attack. Move it swiftly, Donlan, and that's a footwork call. Sean Steele.
There's a lot of pace on this game. There's I just don't feel like they've really settled in here, and we're probably moving the ball a bit quickly.
Yeah, I feel like
Both
Wang haven't quite settled in yet. As we see Stewart.
Great shot.
Nailed. Goal number 4 for Raiders. They got a 4-1 on the 777 automotive scoreboard. First quarter action brought to you by Cavalier Homes. 1v2. Maggie St John finds Stewart coming out of the circle. And you can expect to see Emily Stewart do a lot of that work today, rotating in and out. As we see Leah Genvy, hands to ball and on the run, and she's at circle edge before can even look twice. Narelle umpiring on this side of the court. It's found an offside, so Wang get the opportunity to settle again. So Ava Kazitsky, 17s player for the Raiders last year, came into B grade. Last year I think it was. Yep. Came into B grade and has been playing there, but been playing up a little bit in A, and I think is nearly locked in. So I think we'll see her permanently in A grade for the back half of the season. As we see Kelly Keane get some hands to ball there and force it over the sideline.
The Raiders 17s last year were really, really strong. And also was their B grade, like Mole, how many had 3 teams in? No.
4, yeah. They had 4 out of the 5 in the grand final. Yeah, they were there. 17s was a really an outstanding side to watch.
You can see that they all play that similar kind of game. So they're obviously training them and I guess slotting into the A grade when you're aware of the systems and how the team wants to play. It makes it a bit easier. Yeah,
I think it's really important, and you would see it at your club too, the value in having those junior grades train alongside and be coached and mentored by those senior coaches. As you see Donald put up another one for Raiders, it just means that when they make that step up, they're familiar with the language, they're familiar with the players, and it makes the transition so much smoother. Newton on the drive. Pace. Great give and go to Keane. Fakes before going over to Genvy. Forced to go back to the line. Both sides have been forced to reset back to the transverse line. Genvy to Newton. It's a great test for young Ava Kazitsky today on Izzy Newton, and a nice baseline drive by Umansky. We'll take Wang to 2. St John to House, undefended on the line, back to St John, and the give and goes on, but Genvy cuts it off.
I think that split ring that Katie and Brooke are playing is working pretty well. I think Brooke coming back into that goal defence and a bit more time to settle in with Katie, that's really starting to come together.
Been pretty consistent now, hasn't it? Yeah. And Genvy's just so dangerous around the outside, complementing that. And great vision, Newton to Umansky.
I think those are the feeds they've got to be confident to give today. They are on, and they've got to be confident to let that ball go.
Yeah, absolutely. And Amanda's moving, playing so well.
Yeah, she is.
Yeah, since coming back from her knee injury.
Yeah, I think we said that Yarrawonga game that last year I think she wasn't herself, but I think this season she's looking much more...
Yeah, that one just commentator's curse.
She won't love that. Yeah. But she's looking much more confident out there in her movement and her ability to be holding and coming out of the circle and doing what she needs to.
Yeah, it's really impressive so far. Keane makes no mistake. She takes Wang to 4, trailing Raiders 5 on the 777 automated scoreboard. We've gone 7 minutes in the first quarter on the NZ Albury time clock. So Kazitsky on the line to House. In the pocket to St John. Forced to go back. So defenders just switching to Dean going to Stewart and Thorpe taking Donnellan, just forcing that over the back line with that pressure.
I'd like to see Wang just really chip away here and just treasure possession. And
yeah, well, they had a slow start the first few minutes, but they've seemed to have settled a little bit more now and have pegged the ball back. Newton on the fly to Keane. Nice quick ball release by Wang.
And there's Kelly.
And Keane.
I think Raiders, it's that hard thing of do you double team Umansky or do you take Kelly on the swing and then knowing that Kelly can shoot from everywhere.
Absolutely, and that's the challenge, isn't it?
Yeah.
You have, I think, Eliza Mooney is obviously a young player out from 17s as well. Had some nationals experience earlier in the year and missed the early games because of those commitments. I think she's probably just sort of starting to find her feet, and I would expect that, and that's over the shoulder by Umansky, I would expect as the season goes on we'll see her start to improve as well. It's a great test for her stepping up from 17s and coming up against players like Umansky. And Keane coming through with a great intercept. That's been a couple
of defensive pressure from her.
Yeah, she's had a couple of intercepts so far. House over the top to House, sister to sister to St John. And Raiders will just be prepared to work it around. Oh, and
that was beautiful.
Super
pass.
Release by Stewart to Donnellan.
Great finish.
Great vision to see that gap there, and Raiders move to 6, leading Wang 5. As we see, Raiders again finding circle edge, quick hands by Stewart. And they probably have a similar dilemma down this end with M. Stewart and Taylor Dolan. You know, do you go back and double team the shooter and leave the goal attack out?
Yeah.
And Emma Stewart can do a lot of damage in goal attack. She's athletic, she'll run all day.
Yeah, and her pace is, she just enters, when she comes in for that swing, she moves so quickly and she's so strong. Yeah, you think that she's kind of moving in slowly and then she's
she's
lost the player. Yeah, taken off.
Yeah, she does. And like Kelly will sweep that front. Yeah. As we see Raiders, centre pass to Stewart off the line. Back to Stewart. And I reckon they could put that ball up to Donnellan when she's on Dean. She's just got a height advantage, although Katie is very aerial. Yeah,
they had that mismatch then. They did that really well, but probably should have released it.
Yeah, just having, and I think just release high and have the confidence to do that. So umpire found a break. Now, the green socks that Wang is sporting, they're a bit Larry. Tell us about that.
Yeah, so my understanding is it's for Terry's Socket to Cancer. So the girls, they're nice football socks.
They are.
I think Hannah Grady might actually have those as leg warmers. There was some talk of cutting them into leg warmers because they're a bit slippery. But
hey, who doesn't love a good leg warmer?
Yeah, that's right. So I think this is the second week of some interesting socks for the girls. But some of them are very particular about what socks they wear on game day.
I can imagine.
So takes them a while.
It eats into all the superstitions. Netballers love a good superstition, don't they?
Don't they? Especially this A-grade side.
You see Stewart turn the ball over there for Raiders. A great chase, and she backed it up well. Donnellan presenting front. Nice hands over by Dean, trying to disrupt that shot. But Raiders move to 9, leading Wang 6. So they've just gone out again here. We've gone about 11 minutes in the first quarter. Maggie St. John's strong on that drive. She needs to continue to be because we know how aerial and how quickly a Genevieve can be. So there's just good matchups all over the court.
Yeah, there is. And I think this is, Raiders, they're fast, they're physical, and they're agile. And I think if you look at the Magpies,
Wang are
they're the same.
Absolutely,
so it always is a good matchup.
Yeah.
And neither team will take a step back. That's what I love about watching when Raiders play Maggies, is that it's just 110%. It's physical, they're to the ball, and no one steps off.
No, that's right. So Newton, hard to get over those hands of Kaczynski's a bit of a height mismatch there. And Grady sided Kaczynski and then Keane and absolutely launched it. Not many would make that distance.
That would have been great if it had to come off.
But would have been play of the day. There's no doubt about that whatsoever.
She won't be happy with herself.
She might have been going for Steve Turbott's goal from the centre part, a goal from the centre third.
Just practicing.
Challenge. Yeah, that's right. House are forced to hold it up. Goes to sister and work it through the mid-court Raiders. Stewart out high. And Blaney covered well there by Katie Dean. Forced to go swing it across, and Stewart to St. John. She's in that backspace there and just didn't have the confidence to pop it over, and Thorpe coming through. So Wang looking to get the ball back. Keane just sitting out and then sided Yamansky and just a little bit much on it. And that's what Raiders will be hoping to happen, to put that pressure on those high balls and force them over the back line. As you see, Kaczynski forced to go sideways. So the defensive pressure of both teams is really strong. We're seeing great hands over. Wang just trying to take the space up here for Raiders. House can go across to Kaczynski. Willing just to work it around St. John. Out to
just
Stewart.
taken the pace off it, haven't they?
Yep. Yeah, they have. Oh, and Dean.
Those hands. She does that so well, Katie, doesn't she? When she knows she's up against those bigger bodies, she's able to come off and pick the right moment to go for
play,
those.
I think, is the important thing there, isn't it? So just probably needing some fakes from both sides, actually. And the pressure again forced it over the line. So Raiders have another opportunity.
Love to see Kelly turn and shoot those. I think they probably need a settler.
A bit of miscommunication there between House and Kaczynski. And I guess Kaczynski's played a little bit, but not she's not really settled into this side. So, it's going to take a little bit of time for those connections to work. As we see Mooney try and go up with Kumetsky in that contest, but the contact call made. Keen with the shot. I was just about to say makes no mistake, and I would have put the moz on her. You can see how hard it is for Mooney to get that ball past Kumetsky. Such long arms, both of them. So both sides, hands over pressure. It's really, as you said, it's just taken the pace out of the game here. Oh, and again, another turnover. So we've got a bit of tennis happening the last couple of minutes.
Yeah, and I think this pace is a bit better for both teams.
Yeah. Izzy muted on the fly.
No fear, that girl. No fear.
No, good luck trying to get that out of her hands. Keen with a little drop ball behind her, which we see her do, opens up Umetsky's backspace. She makes no mistake. So Wang, eventually we get a goal on the board, and it's 8. They move to trailing the Raiders 10. We've probably got about 10 or to 20 seconds to go in this quarter. Can they get a late goal? Raiders work, and there is the hooter. So that's the end of quarter 1 here. It is the Raiders 10 leading the Wang Magpies 8. This is O&M Live, and on O&M Live, you won't miss a thing.
What's your future look like? Where do you want to be? Whatever it looks like, with GoTAFE, you've got this. Get real skills for real jobs and careers right now. Search GoTAFE today.
At 2AY, we're your home of live sport. Every weekend we bring you the best live broadcasts of the Ovens and Murray football and netball. Listen this weekend on your radio or the 2AY app.
Adroit Insurance and Risk, your local insurance advisor, able to tailor insurance programs to support your business.
And we're proud to support our local community. .0% alcohol. This changes everything.
Rewrite the rules. Carlton Zero.
Until half-time is on in the locker room. Watch Friday night AFL footy action live on our big screen and get half-price selected beers until half-time. On now in the locker room at the SS&A.
Pain or injury can stop you from living life to the fullest. Albury Wodonga Private Hospital specialises in advanced orthopaedic services and offers a full range of care from diagnosis to surgery and rehabilitation. Get back to the life you love with our support.
The Ovens and Murray Football League is proudly sponsored by Opal. Thinking packaging? Discover Opal.
Welcome back to O&M Live Netball, coming to you from the Wangaratta Magpies home ground, where they are taking on the Wodonga Raiders. It's 1v2 here in the A-grade game, and I reckon we're going to have a game in our hands. It's 10-8, the Raiders' favourite at the moment, but I don't think either side has looked particularly settled. They've had little patches, so it'll be interesting to see what happens this quarter as Raiders take the first centre pass. House forced to go back to Gazitsky. So no change from either side at this stage. And I'm not sure we'll see a lot of changes this game, Rochelle.
No, I don't think we will. I think the only change that could possibly happen for Maggies is Hannah Grady back onto Em Stewart. I think that could happen, but otherwise. And then I would imagine that Georgia and Shay will be injected.
Absolutely, yeah.
But I think they'll keep it relatively stable.
Yes, of course, Georgia Clark back. Platt had a few games under her belt now after her ankle foot injury.
Just a training injury. It did not look very good.
Dear.
I thought that was maybe a season-ending one, so she's done well to get back.
Yeah, she's got the bib on over there now, so I wonder if they're looking at bringing her in this quarter. As you see, Umansky get the first one on the board. Wang moved to 8, trailing the Raiders 11.
And I think Raiders will keep where they are. I mean, they're doing really well. There's probably no need for a change at this point.
No, that's right. And they do have Mia Lavis unavailable through injury, so big loss to them, obviously, but certainly some strength off the bench if they need it. So House looks over to Stewart, swings it across to St John. Taylor Donnellan all alone under the post. Just not looking confident to put that ball over the top. And why would you? If she can work to the front space and shoot like that, they don't need to.
Yeah, that's right. Just chip away at it and get into that on the circle edge front passes.
O'Grady. Genby forced to go back to Thorpe. Up the middle to Keane. Great release and nice ball into Umansky. And she had plenty of space behind her. Couldn't put the ball in, and she'll be ruining that opportunity as Raiders go forward. And House really held up there. Had to really just put it into space in the end, and Kazitsky got to it. So the hands over pressure again we're seeing. It's just forcing both sides to slow down and really make sure the ball placement is on. St John, quick 1-2 with Stewart, and she slots it in. Raiders move to 13. When Em Stewart is playing with confidence, she's incredibly hard to beat when she just turns, sights the post and backs herself on that shot. And Donnellan in that front position, staying, looking for the quick 1-2. Stewart prepared to work the ring, both in that front position, and good contest by Thorpe.
Yeah, I think what Brooke does really well is she's able to tap that ball from behind. She's able to clean. I mean, not many people can come and get that high tap, but she's able to do it without getting that contact call.
That's right. If she tries to go with it with two hands, she's going to probably get that contact, but the tap allows her to get the ball out to a teammate as Umansky puts goal number 10 in for the Wang Magpies, and it's a Magpie centre, so able to turn that one back. Brings it back to 3 goals, the margin. Newton forced to go back to Grady. And again, they'll be... she sighted someone, but then they weren't there.
They weren't there, no.
And House on the run. Goes over the top to Stewart, but I think tipped out there by Thorpe.
Yeah, I think we can just see with that Magpies, like that first centre, there's no second phase available, and so they're having to swing back. And then Raiders are doing a really good job of just pushing Maggie's either really wide or both nice and close in the middle. Got to work on that second phase.
Stewart. Oh, it bounces around and pops out in a contact
Katie will take that one.
Yes. So Dean, goes to Thorpe, just caught out, but gets there in the end. Grady to Newton. Looks long, goes to Keane and drives in, but she sights. Your man's going to the post. Just had a fraction too much on it. It was a great ball.
I think Eliza's doing a really good job of, whilst Amanda's looking open, it's where she's positioning her so that she doesn't have that space to land. She might, and it's that up in the air.
She's getting it deep on the line, isn't she?
She is. And if she had, a couple more, not much more room, she could land that, but she just can't.
Yeah, there's just no margin for error. And Taylor Donnellan just off balance there and had to force the ball out. Raiders coach asking for the ball to go to chest. House, quick 1-2 with Stewart.
Katie's footwork just to get in front there, fantastic.
Yeah, and I'd like to see Em just turn and sight that post first before she swings it out and just see if she can get Dean off her a little bit more if she's wanting to open up that space for a refeed. As the umpire says no, it's a Raiders throw in. So
Katie thought she'd go for it.
Dolan with the shot. Great hands, though, by Dean over that. So Dean for the Magpies. I'll get another opportunity here. Oh, and that's where Stewart can be deadly. She does tend to get some sneaky, offensive turnovers.
I just think that was a poor setup from Magpies then. There was
they didn't recognise.
No.
Hannah Grady couldn't go offside and the player on her could. So, yeah, it was
a bit lacklustre for me.
Yeah. Grady and the umpire saying, nope, take it back. So Newton and Georgia Clark
Georgia's swung
rolled
Didn't
into
even
the game.
See that. There we go. Welcome, Georgia.
We were too busy watching the other end and straight into the play, feeds Zemansky, and they moved to 11. St John, she's going to have a long day ahead of her too. She's going to have to keep making sure she drives right onto the ball. We know what Genby can do, and a hell ball called, I think, there. So Magpies with the opportunity to get another one back if they can look after it here. Genby to Newton. Clark up the middle, not used, has to roll out, and Grady spots Genby top and centre.
I think what Georgia will add to this attacking, I mean, Kelly, does that little pops out and swings in, and as a goal defence, you can nearly let her go and get her at that last moment. But with Georgia, I think she's probably moves a bit quicker.
She's a bit like Em Stewart, isn't she? She's athletic and she's quick. So
I think she will really keep Mackenzie accountable.
She will. Magpies forced to go back to the line of contact found. So Jen with the ball out to Clark. She sights Newton at the top and stays front, and an offside call found. Look to go at the little one to Umansky, but the tip from Raiders goes to one of their players on the edge. So they'll have another opportunity. Kaczynski not able to pull it in, so Newton swoops on it. Wang get another go. Genby trying to fake the defenders away from the ball, finds Clark. I like the confidence she had to try and put that shot up there.
Yeah,
she's another one.
She's happy to turn and shoot. I think probably as her first shot, she probably just needed to get a bit of a close one, a bit of a settler. What do they say for the shooters? First shot's nice and close.
Yeah, that's right.
And then we go from there.
She's another one, another confidence player though, isn't she?
Yeah,
when she just turns and backs herself. Yeah. She can be deadly. So Raiders forced to go back here, just having to work it round. Magpies spreading them, having to pop it into space, can't find a clear option, needing someone to come through, pass the player. St John to House, out to Donlan.
Taylor's out of the circle.
And I don't think that's a bad move. I think she's going to have to do that every now and then as we see Katie Dean come through for the Magpies and get the turnover. So we go forward again. Newton to Genvy. Steps in, not an option.
Patience
back
there.
To Newton, and they are another combination that will just work it if they need to. Ball popped up, deflected, but Umansky under that. And she makes no mistake. Takes Wang Magpies to 13, trailing the Raiders 15 here on the X-Ray Group scoreboard. Raiders centre pass. We've gone 8 minutes. So Grady just with the contact on Stewart. So St John finds Stewart coming out. They need to find circle edge Raiders if they're going to get the ball in over those Wang defenders. Stewart takes the penalty inside, swings it out. Good to see House trying the fake, but wasn't able to fake the defender out on that occasion. So, Genvy on the, I know it was Newton on the fly. And she finds Umansky.
I think sometimes Izzy just makes people's passes look good.
Oh, gee, she certainly doesn't pull out of anything, does she? She commits to things, and that was a much better pass and a better setup by Umansky with the space behind her to fall back into. So Wang with the last couple of goals, make it 15 goals apiece. Raiders just struggling to find avenue to goal. House forced to go across court to Kaczynski. They need to look and release when someone's there. They find Donlan coming out. When they give Wang time to set up their defence, they're finding it really hard. Stewart sights a post.
Yeah, I agree. I think that first quarter they were really moving that ball with pace, and we had the defenders were, turning their heads, couldn't find them, and I think since they've slowed that pace up, it's given Wangaratta a bit more of an opportunity to set up their defensive
and the hands
pressure.
over.
Yeah.
Clark with the quick hands. She pots it for Magpies 16 goals apiece here in the second quarter. Raiders almost a held ball, but opts to go back. Mackenzie House on the end of it to Kaczynski. They come forward through Stewart. Dolan's out of the circle. There's no one home. Again, off the circle. Need to find circle edge. Coach just calling for some drives. Donlan.
Nice pass.
Little quick one to Stewart. Takes them to 17 goals. Ten and a half minutes gone, and Newton, what a pass to Yamansky.
I just looked over at the bench and Shay Cunningham's her hand over her,
holding her
over
breath.
her mouth. Yeah.
Holding her breath, I can imagine. They're coach killers.
Yeah, they're either on. When they're on,
yeah.
they're great. When they're not, you're in trouble.
And don't wing attacks just love a bomb from the transverse line to a shooter. Makes life a bit easier when that comes off. Stewart to St John at the top.
Another great tap
And again,
there.
Katie Dean is getting hands to absolutely everything. And again, her work rate is phenomenal. Forced the ball out. So Raiders with the pass. St John. Donlan working to front. And that's a dangerous pass. Cross court in front of Genvy. Grady with the ball. Forced to go across to Thorpe. Finds Clark down court. Grady on the line, resetting.
And Maggies will just work with some patience here. Great drive there. Nice front.
And Yamansky finishes off. Takes Wang to 17 goals, level with the Raiders.
I think what the defensive setup that Brooke and Katie, like, there's not really a body on Taylor.
No.
And I think that maybe she's struggling a little bit with that.
Yes.
Yeah, they're doing well of kind of really confusing that space and not giving her someone to set up on.
Yeah, absolutely. And that you can see the hesitation in the feeders because there is that space and not sure where the defenders are going to come through. And maybe Tay needs to step in and find a body. Or at least come in and meet the body and come back off. Grady to Newton. Just patiently waiting. And Clark sneakily over the back. Good little pass by Newton to spot her. 18 goals apiece here on the X-Ray Group scoreboard. 3 minutes to go in this quarter. Umpire has found a contact outside the circle.
On Brooke.
And it's Thorpe. So the 2-on-1, they need to use a fake and get it straight in. Dolan saying, I'm here.
I'll shoot that one, thanks.
And a strong rebound by her as well. Takes Raiders to 19 goals, leading the Magpies 18. It's really just been goal for goal this quarter, hasn't it?
Yep, it has. And I think Lee is sort of the battle that's happening here. Oh, Georgia bad luck.
Nearly a footwork call.
I think Lee is winning this battle through the mid-court at the moment. Not sure what's going to happen the second half, but I think in the attacking and defensive end, she's really coming out on top.
Yeah, so Clark just falling short on that one. Oh, if it went on court.
Another coach killer for you, Tam.
Yeah, there's been a couple down this, and Shay will Oh, it's tough work being a coach, I tell you. It takes all sorts of patience. House to Stewart, forced to go back to St John. St John needs to find circle edge, draw Genvy onto the body, make a contest of it. House.
Stewart is just doing a mountain of work out front.
Yes, she is, yeah. And pass over to Dolan, not on. Genvy, for me, has been one of the impact players in this game. We see Shay Crimmins has rolled in to relieve Izzy Newton in the wing attack position. Crimmins over to Genvy. Finds Clark out the back. Swings it out to Crimmins with a great drive to circle edge.
And I think that's a good move. I think to be able to rotate through that mid-court, not that Izzy needs a rest, like, let's be honest, she's centre 4 quarters.
Right. Yeah,
but to have that advantage of being able to swing that mid-court and have some fresher legs, I think is great.
And even if it's just for the last couple of minutes of the quarter, it just extends her break coming into half-time where we get 5 minutes already. So.
And I think Shay is a player who is very patient with the ball. Again, change of pace, great feeds in, happy to release those bombs into Amanda, but also happy to work it round. So And with Georgia, it's a good mix-up.
Yeah, so Stewart takes Raiders to 20, leading by 1, and a quick turnover there. Donald forced to go back to the line. There's probably 20 seconds left in this quarter. They'll need to get it in. Contact call there. They need to look long. Stewart. And the umpires found a holding call outside the ring. Donald needs to move into space. She'll take the shot. Pops out, and I reckon they've just saved him a goal. And there's the halftime buzzer. So we go into halftime. Raiders 20, leading the Magpies, and 19 here in the battle between 1 and 2. This is O&M Live, and on O&M Live, you won't miss a thing.
What's your future look like? Where do you want to be? Whatever it looks like, with GoTAFE, you've got this. Get real skills for real jobs and careers right now. Search GoTAFE today.
At 2AY, we're your home of live sport. Every weekend, we bring you the best live broadcasts of the Ovens and Murray football and netball. Listen this weekend on your radio or the 2AY app.
Adroit Insurance and Risk, your local insurance advisor, able to tailor insurance programs to support your business.
And we're proud to support our local community. 0.0% alcohol. This changes everything.
Rewrite the rules. Carlton Zero.
Until half-time is on in the locker room. Watch Friday night AFL footy action live on our big screen and get half-price selected beers until half-time. On now in the locker room at the SS&A.
Pain or injury can stop you from living life to the fullest. Wodonga Private Hospital specialises in advanced orthopaedic services and offers a full range of care from diagnosis to surgery and rehabilitation. Get back to the life you love with our support.
The Ovens and Murray Football League is proudly sponsored by Opal. Thinking packaging? Discover Opal.
Welcome back to O&M Live Netball. It is the Wang Magpies taking on the Wodonga Raiders. It is 1v2, half time in the game, and Raiders 20, leading the Magpies 19. That last goal.
Trying to make about how both teams sort of took the pace off the game a little bit. I didn't think anyone would get away with a bit of a lead yet, so this is exactly what we predicted.
It's going to be a grind, isn't it?
Yep, it is.
It changes for either side. Raiders have brought Georgia Way into the wing defence position, give Ava Kazitsky a break. For Magpies, they've left it the same as what they finished off. So Shay Crimmins in that wing attack position still. As we see Stewart just working it round. Takes a shot and makes no mistake. So she takes Raiders to 21. Magpies centre pass. Just talking about the impact that Genevieve's had on the game, and she's naturally a wing defence, so the defensive element that she brings to the centre is so strong.
Yeah, and I just think that she's one of those players that will just wear her player, wear them down, and that sometimes those mistakes or errors don't come in that first half, but in the second you start to see them. And we spoke about this last time I was on the live stream. She just doesn't slow down. No. She doesn't get tired.
No, and her aerial ability is quite something to watch as we see Stewart, little pass to St John, and pops it up to Donaldson that time, makes no mistakes. So
I think Stewart's having a fantastic game.
She is,
just watching her move and her setup and her workload to then turn and shoot the ball as well.
Yeah. Nice release to Umansky in that front space, changing it up, and just couldn't keep it in play there. Oh, sorry, couldn't keep her balance. It was Georgia Clark, but they're able to keep possession. She'll get another opportunity. She pops it in, takes Wang Magpies to 21.
That was a great drive from Georgia on the baseline.
St John finds House, forced to go back. Stewart coming through again, and undefended, can play again. Donaldson out of the circle. Looks to someone on the circle edge. Genevieve gets a tip,
pickup.
And Clark, too tall for House, able to pull that one in. So Magpies with the opportunity to turn this one back. Crimmins to Clark. Umansky in front, little tip by Mooney. Umpire says contact.
I think Mooney's had a good game against Amanda. I mean, Amanda's got some great feeds and some great shots, but she's really put some good pressure on her.
She has
changed it up, and I think she's just going to have to keep adjusting and trying different things for the next half.
Absolutely, yeah. It's a great test for her.
Yeah,
still only a young player.
Yeah, and just sort of working out the patterns of what Amanda does, and I think there was a few where she was able to work that out, and as Amanda's adjusted, it's then working out what's the next thing.
That's right. As we see Crimmins, pass inside the circle. It was an offside call. Clark works it round into a position to shoot.
Shoot that. Oh, unlucky.
Pops out. Oh, and nearly trips over the ball trying to get it. Don't do that. That can end badly. And Georgia Way, pressure on the circle edge. Umpire lets it go. Players waiting for a call, but nothing there. So Magpies ending up with the ball under the circle, under the post, and Clark pots it. She takes Wang to 23, leading 22. This is the first time in this game, I think, that Wang have actually had the lead.
Yep.
So we see Stewart looks to St
Good
John.
hands from Hannah in there. I think Hannah's been quiet today, but I also think that she's, maybe not a lot of big turnovers, big intercepts, but she's just been chipping away.
She does. And I think what Hannah does well is she will combine with that other defender, whether it's GD or the centre, to take that option out.
Yep.
So where, Blaney House might be an option, she'll just do enough to cover it and force it somewhere else. She might not get the intercept, but she'll deny that ball, which, is typical wing defence, isn't it? And spots Umansky, and that's got to be assist of the day.
She made up for that one in the first quarter.
Absolutely, yeah, she gets one back. So Wang go to 24, leading the Raiders 22.
All's forgotten.
And that's the other thing. Defenders love a good feed from the transverse too, don't they?
Get the assist on. Got to have it.
There's usually a couple a game. And Crimmins, pinpoint accuracy to Umansky in the backspace there.
I think that connection between Shay and Amanda from years playing together is great. And when Shay's on and she's feeling confident, she's able just to let it go.
That's right. So contact call outside. House will take the ball. It's on Dean. So there's a 2-on-1 in the circle. Stewart over the back. Pops it in, takes Raiders to 23. Trailing the Magpies 25. Magpies centre pass. They've found offside or a breaking.
Held
And
ball.
a held ball. And that was a shame. Genvi wanted to act quickly and just took the pass rather than putting it down. It left one left option in attack. But you could see her thinking and wanting to get it down there fairly quickly. Georgia Way through, threads it Stewart to Blaney House. No one there. She has to go back to Stewart. And they just work it in.
I think Emily Stewart touched the ball about 6 times from that.
She certainly did.
From
She
there.
was,
Again, that work rate.
created all that play, didn't she? As we see Raiders with an opportunity to convert again after they got that one back. So House through to Stewart. Goes pocket to St John. And just
Good
opens
fave
up
there.
Donnellan, and that's a replay or repossession there. Just couldn't quite control it.
I was just going to say, I think Blaney House is having that's great.
There you go. Look
About
at that.
to say, a really good game, and I think some of her feeds and her movement onto the circle, she's there when they need her. She's reliable, and she hasn't made many errors.
No, she hasn't. 25 goals apiece. And I think St John, Leah Genvy's really sort of almost taken Maggie St John out of the game at times and limited her impact. So Blaney House has had to step up and be that feeder. As you see, Yamansky
Probably
just
a bit
little
big
bit
for
much
her.
on it. And umpire will say Magpies throw in. Glad she's calling that because
I would have
hands
no idea.
everywhere down there. That's hard to pick.
50-50.
There's a lot of long arms in that goal circle. Crimmins over the top to Yamansky. Found the space in front.
And she's just confident to give that ball.
She is, isn't she?
And they need to be, yeah.
Wang moved to
So-
26, leading the Raiders 25 here on the 777 Automotive scoreboard.
We just saw a failed rolling sub for Leah and Izzy.
Oh.
Leah went to run off, but Raiders were too quick going into the centre.
The centre rolling
hard.
sub is a tricky one, isn't it? Getting that timing right
Here
is
we
really,
go,
and
that's
there they
better.
go. They've nailed it that time. So Genvy off for a rest, Newton into that centre position. Very familiar place for her. Thorpe to Newton, Clark out. Forced to go back to Newton.
And Georgia should put this up.
Pops out, but the umpire had called contact already, I think. Oh, it's very bouncy. It looks bouncy.
There we
Yamansky
go.
makes no mistake that time. Takes Wayne to 27. They've got a 2-goal lead here, and it's their centre pass. We've gone nearly 7.5 minutes in this quarter, thanks to NZ Albury time clock. Crimmins.
Thought
to
about it
Newton,
then, yep.
And to Yamansky. There's a familiar combination, isn't it? Crimmins, Newton, Yamansky.
Yep.
28 plays 25. St John. Stewart again in it. Donlan out of the circle, but hands of Grady sends the ball loose. Umpire calls contact. Strong hands by Stewart to pull that one in too. No one was taking that one off her. She takes Raiders to 26. Loose ball. Grady stood and watched and then realised I need to
Someone was
chase
coming
that.
in for
There's
it.
no call there. Went after it. And a
Oh, bad
footwork call there. So Raiders has an opportunity to get another one back here. St John forced to go back to House. Donlan very high out of that circle. Pops it into the space for House, but too much on it. Right idea, but House was still stumbling and finding her feet and couldn't get there. So Thorpe looks to Newton, puts her under all sorts of pressure, but in true Newton style, she comes up with the ball.
Yeah, I think Magpies probably just need to settle in here a little bit. I think Raiders are putting on that really strong defensive pressure.
It's a bit more first ball pressure,
Yeah,
isn't there?
it
Just
is.
the last couple of minutes.
Yep. And I think they do that really well. I think that's a real strength of theirs. And it rattles teams.
Grady gives herself a whack in the leg. Should have pulled that in, she says. Knocks it out. So Mackenzie House goes back to Way. She's been great since she's come on as well. Played in the B-grade premiership last year for the Raiders. Dolan up high. No one to go to. Has to go back to the line. And there's an offside call there. So Sir John will take it for the Raiders. To Stewart. To House. And they're just going to work it in here. Dean just sitting off. She knows that refeed was coming there. And the fake by St John draws the defenders. Opens up Stewart and she makes no mistake. 27 plays 29. Wang with the penalty at the transverse line.
Great
O'Grady
try.
again looking long.
Yeah.
And Clark there with a strong drive just draws the contact, draws House into the contest. Looking for Yamansky, and Eliza Mooney knows that's on. She did a good job to cover it, but the umpire found holding call.
Yeah, I just think Magpies are getting away from that shorter game, like the give and goes, change of direction. And when you start to get into that running race with a team like this, you know, we spoke at the first quarter, they're quick, they're agile, and they're not going to take a step off.
No.
So I think it just plays right into their style.
The thought with the tip, so it'll be Raiders throwing on the baseline. Stewart will take the ball. And that's where the little one is on, and Donnellan just got lost in the mess there and didn't know it was coming to her. Newton, goes to Grady on the line. They work it in.
Great pass there from
Great
Shay. That was
vision.
beautiful.
Yeah, she saw it and threaded it. Wang moved to 31, leading the Raiders 27. They've put a 4-goal buffer on this, and we've gone 11 minutes in this quarter. Front space was Amanda, and she nearly popped back out. $13 goals to 8 this quarter, Magpies way. So they've certainly had the upper hand here. House to Stewart, into Donlan. And Stewart finishes off for the Raiders, so it takes them to 28.
She's been fantastic today.
Yeah, just so steady down there for them, hasn't she? In everything.
Yep.
So they'll be looking to get a couple of quick ones back, last couple of minutes of this quarter. Try and narrow the margin at quarter time, and Yamansky says no way. She takes them to 33. Bearing in mind, another quarter to go, and 15 minutes is a long time.
It is. And a team like Raiders, I don't think you can... I mean, this is nothing.
No,
this is
that's right.
for either team, I think. So I've got no doubt that Raiders will keep chipping away here. And
absolutely. There'll be no panic stations.
No.
Interesting, I was saying to someone before the game, I feel like both sides are in really comfortable positions. As we see Stewart take the Raiders to 29, I think Raiders are quite comfortable and happy to be that underdog team.
Yeah.
And Wang are probably very comfortable and over the last few years have been used to being the team, the favourite team or the team on top. So both sides probably in quite comfortable familiar positions.
Yeah, I agree. And I think it is, especially where they are on the ladder, like this is a great game to win. But it's not that pressure game where it's a must win, so they can just go out and just play their natural game, have the hunger to win, but it's not everything's on the line with this one.
No, look, that's right. It's it's only round 9. I think both sides know that their season's not going to be defined by this game in any way, shape or form. Raiders move to 30, trailing the Magpies 34.
I think George has brought some great movement into the attacking end. Yeah,
and she's really made the defenders have to be accountable to her, hasn't she? And nailed some nice shots too along the way. So she moves Wang to 35, leading by 5 goals. 2 minutes to go, in this quarter. Stewart swings it across to House.
That's a great move. That's better by Taylor.
Absolutely.
Yeah, that was a great on the body.
Yep, holding strong on the body and draw the contact there, and she does so. 31 plays 35. Another call on the line. Crimmins, Clark in the corner, up to go back, and the contact call on Crimmins. So a late turnover here for Raiders. Opportunity to score.
And I can just see Genvi in the sub box with the wing defence bib on, so that'll be a change. I think that's probably a good change to make, especially with a few minutes left.
Yep.
Just really put that pressure on.
And just no one coming in front for the Raiders there. So there you talk about Clark's influence, another good turnover from her. So Wang will be patient here. They know that there's probably only 30 seconds left in this quarter. Newton waits, goes back to Crimmins.
That's it, and there it is. Yep.
and the front one.
I was going to say, they're always the ones you miss right under.
Aren't they ever?
And Amanda too, they're always the ones.
She's missed a couple of close ones today, hasn't she? So she hasn't liked those much at all.
No.
She finally pops it right on the 3/4 time siren. So big change that quarter. Wang have blown it out. They've gone 36 goals, leading the Raiders 31 here. This is O&M Live, and on O&M Live, you won't miss a thing.
What's your future look like? Where do you want to be? Whatever it looks like, with GoTAFE, you've got this. Get real skills for real jobs and careers right now. Search GoTAFE today.
At 2AY, we're your home of live sport. Every weekend we bring you the best live broadcasts of the Ovens and Murray football and netball. Listen this weekend on your radio or the 2AY app.
Adroit Insurance and Risk, your local insurance advisor, able to tailor insurance programs to support your business.
And we're proud to support our local community. .0% alcohol. This changes everything.
Rewrite the rules. Carlton 0.
Until half-time is on in the locker room. Watch Friday night AFL footy action live on our big screen and get half-price selected beers until half-time. On now in the locker room at the SS&A.
Pain or injury can stop you from living life to the fullest. Wodonga Private Hospital specialises in advanced orthopaedic services and offers a full range of care from diagnosis to surgery and rehabilitation. Get back to the life you love with our support.
The Ovens and Murray Football League is proudly sponsored by Opal. Thinking packaging? Discover Opal.
Welcome back to O&M Live Netball. This is the 4th quarter between the Wodonga Raiders and the Wangaratta Magpies. It is 1v2. Big quarter there by Wang Magpies in that 3rd quarter. Rochelle took them to a 5-goal lead. It's the first time they'd hit the front all game in that quarter. So let's see what this quarter brings. You can see the change. Leah Genevieve's come back on into wing defence. Izzy Newton in centre. Cher Crimmins in wing attack, so opted to stay with that lineup.
Yeah, I think Leah into that wing defence position will just give the wing attack Blaney something else to think about.
Oh, absolutely, yes. And we see a turnover cause there. Mackenzie House seeing the ball, Georgia Way. She's been great since she's been on too. Stewart goes back to St John, the quick one too. And Donlan presenting front. So Wang with the rebound. Got the ball back. Is there, centre pass. So Newton over the top to Crimmins. They look at Amanda and it wasn't quite on. So
there it is.
That one there was.
Yeah, when they can get that circle edge. I mean, some of those feeds off have been great today, but I think when they can get circle edge.
Absolutely.
That feed, that's what they all say, the coaches, circle edge.
Yeah. No, it makes a difference and very hard to stop a ball coming into a player like Amanda when they're feeding from there.
I think Magpies really need to shut Emily Stewart down here. I think she's really driving that attacking end, setting it all up. Like we spoke about, her workload the last 3 quarters has been great, and I think if they can just wear her down or cut her out a bit.
So we see Clark, and she's been great for Magpies since coming onto GA2. Newton launched it to Umansky, just couldn't quite pull that one in. So Mooney off the baseline for Raiders to Way. A couple of give and goes there by Mooney, providing lots of support out of defence. St John through the middle. Wang really taking away Raiders' space here.
Yep.
But Raiders will be happy just to play those little ones and work it around too. So House, circle edge to Stewart. And Wang just forcing the refeed. Donlan being told to shoot, and she
Great
does.
shot. Why
and
not?
Makes no mistake, takes Raiders to 33. They've brought it back to 4. Their centre pass, Stewart to St John, through to House. They must keep driving hard at that ball, or Wang, players like Leah Genvy are going to come through. As we see Genvy caught there on the contact. So House, top of the circle, straight into Donlan. Wrong-footed, I think, in that, on that instance. Looks for the refeed. Takes them to 34. Fourth quarter action brought to you by Martins Albury. Clark outside for Wang.
Yeah, she's there.
Crimmins, looking at her, looks away and comes back. Makes no mistake.
That was my sideline commentary then.
St John and trying to go through, but drawing Newton out of it, and that's what she needs to do. And the umpire says, no, not on that occasion.
No thanks.
It's been a good contest.
Yeah, it has. I think both teams, like we said, they're strong, they're physical.
Yeah.
They're just hard to that ball. Lise.
Oh, and that just got past the hands of Mooney, but the foot was out. Oh, she was twinkle toes on the line. Way with a great outlet to House. Just releasing it and finding a little bit more space on that transition, Raiders, sorry.
Yeah, and we spoke about when they move that ball quickly and with that control, they get away from the Magpies defence.
Yes.
As soon as they give them the chance to set up, it's not working. So I think that was a great quick move and got it down real quick.
So they go to 35, trailing the Magpies 38. Newton hot off the centre to Crimmins. Uses the reset. Has to go again to Thorpe on the line. Clark coming out, but a tip by Mackenzie House, and M. Stewart mopping up. She's been in everything. Donlan high out of the circle. This is no one home. Mackenzie House on the line to St John, and a nice release by Stewart into the back space of Donlan there.
I think Taylor's finding a bit more space and getting her positioning a bit more this quarter. I think that's the most goals we've seen her shoot in a row this game. So I think she's probably had some good coaching on the sideline, where to set up, change it up a little bit, and that's working for her.
Yeah, more confident in her movements too the last couple of times.
She's a great shot. Like, turn and look at it.
Yeah, absolutely. And be strong on the body, like in that instance there. Pull the ball in. Yeah, she can sink it.
Much better quarter from her already.
Yeah, so she takes Raiders to 37, trailing by 1 goal, 38 here on the X-Ray Group scoreboard. We've gone about 5 minutes in the final quarter. Newton with the ball, forced to go back to Grady on the line. To Newton again. You can just feel the intensity ramping up a bit here. Sideline getting into it. Clark to Umansky, forced over the back line there by Mooney. So
I think this change of wing defence, she's really doing a good job on. I missed her name when she came
Georgia
on.
Way.
Georgia Way.
She's been great.
Yeah, I think she's doing a really good job of covering Shay's drives and really putting that pressure on.
Yeah, and likewise been a great mover of the ball down the court as well. She's had some good plays in attack, as we see. House draw the contact there by Grady. Good fake. Opens, splits the circle. Stewart. Oh, but Donnellan with a great rebound pulls it in. So starting to see a bit more confidence out of her. 38 goals apiece here on the X-Ray Group scoreboard. It's game on.
We said that Raiders weren't going to be too worried about that.
No.
That scoreline, and they haven't been.
And 15 minutes is a long time.
Yeah, it
Netball.
is.
Donnellan, give and go. Oh, that was a wasted opportunity. She was open for the quick one too, but just sighted the wrong player.
I think Raiders, they had some, last season, that real standout season, and they played some big games and some big moments. So I think they've definitely got the ability to really push out, as does Magpies.
Yeah, I think they're comfortable being down. I don't think they panic. They seem to like that position. Just being a couple down, it gives them something to really work for. As we see, great hands by Mackenzie House forces another turnover. Yeah, I think that really brings out the fight in them, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does.
Makes it dangerous. And I think it's not a bad skill to have, if you can be a team who doesn't panic when you're down and who knows there's still an opportunity, that can go a long way in those pressure games, as we see Stewart pop the ball over to Donnellan.
And sometimes I think it's easier to be the chaser than the one that's getting chased. There's less pressure sometimes in trying to hold that lead, and
absolutely
you can play with that freedom to go for those balls and have a fly.
Back yourself a bit, as we see. Great release by Crimmins, finds Umansky, but just can't sink it. And Mooney was in the front spot, but just mistimed the jump. So Umansky with another go, takes it to 39 goals apiece. Here, fourth quarter action brought to you by Martins Albury. This is top of the table clash, 1 and 2. Wangaratta Magpies undefeated so far. Raiders with just the one loss to Yarrawonga.
And Raiders patient working it around here.
Yeah, showing a bit more patience than the previous quarter, where there was a few forced balls into hands. I think they're just waiting for that really clear option to open up, as we see Stewart pops out. But
strong rebound.
Yeah, positions herself beautifully. Thorpe shakes her head and in the meantime has another opportunity. So she'll be ruining that opportunity, Brooke Thorpe. Raiders go to 40, leading the Magpies 39. Genvy on the drive to Grady. Back to Genvy. Looks in, no one there, forced to reset. She'll be patient. They won't force any balls here, I don't think. And again, opts to go back to Grady. Crimmins in the front position. Clark and House having a good battle there at the top, and Umansky. Oh, the poor thing, she just couldn't hold her feet. Well, she got back on her feet before she offloaded it. She knew she had to do that. She did well, actually, to get up and give that off. I think I would have just sat down and said, I'm out. I'm out. Someone else deal with the ball, as we see Raiders go forward. So Stewart to St. John. St. John just finding a bit more space this quarter. A little fumble there, and Genvy comes through with it. So a contact.
Yeah, I think Magpies just probably need to take a breather here. Chip away.
And Mooney with some great hands there. Those long arms reaching out. So Wang with the baseline throwing. Clark should be looking for the little one over to Umansky. Opts to go big to Genvy. Sweeps through the front. Nice drive by Clark, but she just wasn't in enough space to get it cleanly. So Raiders now going forward and just releasing the ball with a bit more confidence. As we said, quicker releases, but also not as tentative as they were in that other quarter.
No, I feel like they're just playing with a bit of that freedom and looking. I think this change in Taylor this quarter, it's given them that confidence, I think.
Yeah, and that was a nice release by Stewart to have the confidence to put that ball over to Taylor. They weren't doing that early in the game.
No.
And that comes back to Taylor Donnellan's, how she's setting up and how she's presenting.
Yep.
She's presenting as confident, calling for the ball.
Yep.
Her teammates are going to give it to her.
You can even see that shift of her, that arm going up, like wanting that ball, whereas the last couple of quarters that wasn't there. She was coming out or just kind of waiting. So
Stewart keeps coming forward. And again, Donnellan with the hand up
she wants
saying,
it.
I'm here. Yeah, she's calling for it.
I like it.
It's over. House chases, keeps it in, but goes to the hands of Genvy. Grady with the ball, finds Newton through the centre. Newton again goes back to Grady. Haven't those two played some games of netball together?
Mm-hmm.
And Kelly Keane's
Kelly's back in.
Rolled on.
That's
the
it.
sub, yeah. And she'll bring that settling influence, won't
Yep.
she? We saw Clark a bit frustrated in that last interaction
Yep.
when she didn't get the contact call, and probably just needs a couple of minutes. So 4 minutes to play in this quarter, thanks to NZ Albury.
And we're back at 41 also. That's
41
happened
goals
very
apiece,
quickly.
hasn't it just? Goal for goal. Will it be a draw, Rochelle?
Oh,
Will
my
we have our
gosh.
first A-grade draw for the season?
You know what, maybe.
Should we jinx them with that?
I said to you in the break, I actually tipped Raiders to win this game. Very Magpies of me, but I just feel like they're going to have the edge here. So we'll see.
Yeah, they go to 42, leading by 1 goal, 41. Just over 3 minutes to play. Grady through to Genvie. They'll be prepared to work it around. Back to Grady. And look, honestly, both sides have really just shown great patience today. Kelly Keane with the long bomb in her 100th game says thank you very much. Takes them to 42 goals apiece here.
And I think she probably needed to take that shot and make sure that whoever's in that goal defence doesn't leave her out there alone.
Yeah, absolutely.
Take that pressure off Amanda.
Continue to make them accountable, isn't it? As we see Raiders way to House to St John. Coach saying, take your feet to the ball. House back to sister House. Finds Stewart up high. Great hands by Keane. Quick release by Blaney House to Stewart there. St John coming through. And St John is just finding a bit more space. Leah Genvie was right in those contests early in the game. St John's going past the player a little bit more now as Donlan takes a long shot. Great tip there, and the chase is on. And the call is against Blaney House. Once again, I'm glad it's Narelle with the whistle and not me.
Oh my God, no. Great viewing, but...
It is, isn't it? And it's just two teams attacking the ball, wanting the ball. There's nothing untoward in it. It's all fair.
No, it's not.
And it's just good, intense netball. House across
It just
to
makes
Mooney.
me think how great finals are going to be this
Oh,
year. I'm
no.
already excited about it.
Yeah, that's right. So Newton in the contest there with Way. I tell you what, Georgia Way's had a good introduction. No, she's played the A-grade before, I think, but she's certainly had her work cut out for her today, and she's done a great job. She spots Mackenzie House wide. Another long ball to Stewart. Donnellan's on the drive in, but wasn't an option. Forced to go back, and Genvie in the front spot. Keeps it in, and it just sort of pops onto the court, and I think players just waiting for whistle, and... Magpies thought it was there, and I think Narelle held her hand the wrong way, and then all of a sudden switched it, and they were caught off guard there a bit. Stewart, quick hands to Donlan, able to pull it in. That was some desperate, scrappy play, but Raiders prevailed in that instance. So 43 goals, plays 42. Last quarter, fumble there by Thorpe, and it was a
drag.
Oh, drag was it? Yeah, I did miss that call on House. So, Mackenzie House, clean, neat intercept by Mackenzie House. She's just quietly kind of gone about her business today. I think
she has.
Eliza Mooney's probably taken a fair bit of focus, and Taylor Donlan makes no mistake. She takes them to 44. A 2-goal buffer with less than a minute to play here on the NZ Albury time clock. And Raiders with ball in hand, are they going to do a lightning and try and ice the clock?
Well, I think it's one of those tough things. I think Magpies are one of those teams that if you do that, then they come in on those last minutes and they can come through on those balls. I think they need to keep playing.
Yeah.
And back themselves.
Yeah, and look, as you said, Magpies, it's not going to be panic stations for either side, whatever the result is here. Both sides and coaches too experienced to get caught up in one game. There's a whole second half of this season to play as we see Mooney contest that ball, and Yamansky. She's had a great game. Amanda Yamansky, 43.
Yeah, she has.
Plays 45.
Yeah, I think that matchup has been great to watch.
Look, she probably doesn't get many defenders as tall as her.
No, she doesn't.
You know.
And so it really makes her have to adjust her style. There we go.
And we see shot on the goal on the siren missed. So there we have it. Raiders 45 prevailed 43 over the Wang Magpies. They went to sleep there in the third quarter. Magpies really came back hard at them, but they were able to get on top in the last quarter. So that ends Magpies' unbeaten run, and that will leave Wangaratta and Raiders on equal points. I think Wangaratta's percentage is slightly better, so they may maintain that top spot. But certainly game on in the second half of this season. Emily Stewart put that on there. Congratulations, our player of the day. Well done. What a hard-fought win, 43-45. It was probably what we expected. Goal for goal. No side was going to back down. Was it what you expected?
Yeah, pretty much. We knew that they're such a strong side that they were just going to, come out firing. So, yeah, we just kind of had to stick to what we know and, keep going, keep pushing.
Yeah, absolutely. We're saying neither side's going to get caught up too much in the result of today. It's one game and we've got a whole second half to play, but must be nice. I feel like you guys are just building. You probably hadn't hit your straps yet. You've had some girls unavailable with different commitments, and so it must be nice today to pull it together and really start to feel like you're settling.
Yeah, no, it's lovely. It's nice with this team, even though if we are down a few, we never really feel like we're down. We just keep pushing and, we kind of just focus on the process instead of the outcome.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, and your workload today, I think there was 1 point from the centre. You were involved in 6 passes and then got in and turned and shot. I mean, just incredible to watch. But how do you go working in that mid-court? You've got, you had Taylor in there. That last quarter, she really came alive, but getting that team working.
Yeah, no, it's good. I feel like we have such a good dynamic, like we can do a moving circle or a holding circle. And with Blano and Mags, if I turn to Blano, I'm like, I'm a bit gassed. You can get this one.
Sure go.
Yeah. You don't look gassed.
No, that's right. Well done, Em. It was a really great game to watch. It was a good, hard-fought win. And now you can have, you can't have the week off. The rest of the team can have the week off. You've got Association Champs next week in Melbourne, which will be another awesome opportunity to play with some of the best in our league.
Yeah, no, it's exciting. I think we got a few of our girls there, so it's good to just keep those legs pumping through.
Yeah.
But no, it's nice to just connect and even get to know the girls on a different level.
Absolutely. Well done today, and have a great weekend next weekend in Melbourne.
You.
Good job. Thanks, Em.
Thank you. I'm really sweaty.
Yeah, that's all right. Emily Stewart, our player of the day. It was tough to pick. There was a couple of standouts for both sides. I thought Em was obviously great for Raiders today. Eliza Mooney, I thought, stepped up in, what was a super challenge on Amanda Yamanski.
Absolutely, yeah.
For Wangaratta, Katie Dean, and I thought her and Leah Genevieve just were phenomenal, especially in that first half, just tips to balls relentlessly.
Yeah, I think so. And Katie, really, for someone who's that, short defender, hates to hear it, but her footwork and her ability to read the play, and I think really shut down one of those shooters for 3 of those 4 quarters was great.
Yeah, she certainly did. Look, that was great. 1v2, you want to see games like that, don't you?
Yep.
And I think it sets up a really exciting second half of the season. We go into round 9 with our top 2 sides even on points, which you don't get much closer than that, do you?
No, and look, I will just note, Tan, that I picked the winner of today, so that's 1-0 for us.
You did. Well done, Shell. Absolutely. No, look, great game. Thank you for joining us again,
thank you.
and we'll certainly have you back. I think we're back here in a few weeks' time, or 4 or 5 weeks.
North Albury.
Wang and North Albury. We're looking forward to that game.
Yeah,
so
thanks
to Shell. It's been great as always. This has been O&M Live. Thanks for tuning in. On O&M Live, you won't miss a thing.
What's your future look like? Where do you want to be? Whatever it looks like, with GoTAFE, you've got this. Get real skills for real jobs and careers right now. Search GoTAFE today.
At 2AY, we're your home of live sport. Every weekend we bring you the best live broadcasts of the Ovens and Murray football and netball. Listen this weekend on your radio or the 2AY app.
Adroit Insurance and Risk, your local insurance advisor, able to tailor insurance programs to support your business.
And we're proud to support our local community.
.0% alcohol. This changes everything. Rewrite the rules. Carlton Zero.
price until half-time is on in the locker room. Watch Friday night AFL footy action live on our big screen and get half-price selected beers until half-time. On now in the locker room at the SS&A.
Pain or injury can stop you from living life to the fullest. Wodonga Private Hospital specialises in advanced orthopaedic services and offers a full range of care from diagnosis to surgery and rehabilitation. Get back to the life you love with our support.
The Ovens and Murray Football League is proudly sponsored by Opal. Thinking packaging? Discover Opal.